A woman's words often reveal her emotions far earlier than her actions ever do. While men are usually taught to look for signs in body language, texting patterns, or how frequently she initiates plans, the truth is what she says matters just as much, if not more. Women by nature are indirect when it comes to showing their feelings. They rarely come right out and say, "I like you," especially in the beginning stages. Instead, they leave behind subtle clues-coded messages that allow them a safe exit in case the response isn't what they'd hoped for. In this guide, we'll explore 7 key things a woman might say when she's developing genuine feelings. For you, if you hear even one of these, she's thinking about you in ways she's not ready to say aloud. And if you catch multiple, it means she's already emotionally invested. 1. I've never told anyone this before. When a woman begins opening up, it's one of the strongest indicators of how she feels about you. Women are highly selective about who they share their private thoughts with. They don't casually talk about insecurities, childhood memories, struggles, or hidden fears with just anyone. These pieces of themselves are earned and never given freely. So when she says, "I don't usually talk about this," or "I've never told anyone this before," it's a clear signal. You're not like the others, but why does this matter? Why does emotional sharing equal attraction? It boils down to trust and emotional safety. A woman can't feel truly connected to a man she doesn't trust. Before love can take root, emotional walls must begin to crumble. Once she lets you into her inner world, she's shifting from surface-level interest to something far deeper. This becomes even more telling when she shares something truly vulnerable, past heartbreak, childhood trauma, or a personal insecurity. She's offering a soft part of herself that she usually guards. And once you're let into that space, detaching emotionally becomes far more difficult for her. Here's where many men go wrong. They don't know how to react. Some might try to minimize her feelings. That's not a big deal. Others try to fix the issue. Just do this, and you'll be fine. Some even change the subject because they're unsure of what to say. But none of these deepen the connection. The real key is to simply listen and validate her feelings. You don't need to solve anything. Just let her feel heard. Say something like, "I really appreciate you sharing that with me," or "That must have been really tough for you." That's what creates emotional safety. 2. I feel so comfortable around you. At first, this might sound like a friendly, polite compliment, something harmless. But in the right context, it means so much more than most men realize. Women are instinctively more cautious than men when it comes to relationships. Their instincts are wired for both physical and emotional safety. That's why she doesn't feel at ease around just anyone. So if she says you make her feel safe and comfortable, it's not a fluke. Her subconscious is signaling that you've bypassed her usual defenses. But here's where it gets tricky. There are 2 kinds of comfort a woman can feel. One leads to attraction, the other, the friend zone. The first is romantic comfort where she feels secure but also drawn to you, intrigued, and emotionally stirred. The second is platonic comfort where she feels safe but without excitement or desire. So how do you tell which one it is? Pay attention to how she says it and in what context. If she's smiling, maintaining strong eye contact, or playfully touching you, that's romantic comfort. But if she says it neutrally, during a heavy or emotional conversation, she may be categorizing you as the safe guy. One of the biggest mistakes men make is thinking comfort is enough. But comfort, on its own, doesn't spark attraction, it builds trust. And trust, without a mix of excitement or challenge, often lands you in the friend zone. 3. Do you think about me? When a woman asks you this, she's revealing far more than just curiosity. She's subtly probing to see how much of your mind she occupies. This isn't a light-hearted question, it's her way of seeking reassurance. A check to see if she holds space in your world. And make no mistakes, she wouldn't ask this if she didn't already care. Women don't pose these kinds of questions to men they feel nothing for. If she were indifferent, she wouldn't need to know if you think of her. The key here is how you respond. A lot of men either reveal too much or give nothing at all, both of which kill the tension. Attraction thrives on a delicate balance of certainty and uncertainty. Your best move: keep things playful. Give a teasing answer that hints at your interest without giving the full picture. Try something like, maybe, why? Been thinking about me? Or, I try not to, but you keep popping into my head. These replies due to things, they confirm she's on your mind. But they also make her admit she's been thinking of you too. So why is this question important? Because when she asks it, she's giving you a doorway to build something deeper. If you play it right, this is a turning point, a moment where casual interest begins to shift into real emotional connection. Sometimes, it's phrased differently. Do you ever miss me? Or I bet you don't think of me when I'm not around. All variations of the same theme. She wants confirmation that she matters to you, but she doesn't want to ask it directly. What should you do? Don't waste the opportunity. After the playful back and forth, deepen the moment. Bring up something specific, like, actually, that joke you made the other day popped into my head, and I had to stop myself from laughing out loud. Or, funny you ask. I was just thinking about how you reacted to that scene in the movie. Weirdly expressive. 4. What would you do in my shoes? This one doesn't always sound romantic at first, but when a woman starts asking for your input on her personal decisions, it's a meaningful shift. She's not just seeking advice, she's starting to value how you see the world and how you approach challenges. It shows that she sees you as more than a friend. She's considering you as someone emotionally significant. This question is her way of evaluating your mindset, your values, and your wisdom. It's subtle, but powerful. When she asks this, she's not only curious, she's imagining what it would feel like to have you be part of her support system. She wants to see if your emotional depth matches her needs. It's a moment of testing and trust. And when she invites you into this decision-making space, she's picturing a version of her life where your guidance plays a role. 5. I feel like you get me. This phrase holds weight. When a woman says this, she's not just talking about compatibility, she's recognizing that you understand her on a level few others do. It speaks to emotional resonance and intuitive connection, where words aren't always necessary. This kind of understanding doesn't need explanations. It's felt. It means you're no longer a background character in her life. You've become someone she sees clearly, someone whose energy she feels deeply. The moment she says this, there's often a sense of relief, like she's been waiting for someone who truly sees her. And now she's found that in you. This is where feelings stop being casual and start becoming rooted in something profound. 6. I can't imagine my life without you. This is one of the strongest signals of emotional attachment. When a woman says this, it's not just a declaration. In her mind, her life is now intertwined with yours to the point where imagining a future without you feels empty. This ties into attachment theory, the idea that emotional bonds shape how we experience the world. When she says this, she's saying you're not just a part of her life, you've become essential to it. This isn't about day-to-day companionship. It's about the emotional structure of her life. Without you, there would be a void. It's a subtle request for shared futures, a signal that she sees you in her long-term plans. 7. I want to make you proud. This might seem unexpected in the context of romance, but it carries incredible weight. When a woman expresses this, it shows deep emotional investment. It's not about doing things for your approval. It's about valuing your standards and wanting to rise to them. It's about admiration and a desire to be her best self, not out of obligation, but out of love. This phrase reflects a powerful psychological truth. She sees you as someone worth impressing, someone whose opinion matters deeply, and that's a major sign of emotional commitment. These 7 signs aren't just words. They're emotional indicators of a woman falling for you. Each one reveals a layer of trust, admiration, and connection. But remember, words are only part of the picture. Real understanding comes from observing the actions that back them up. Because at the end of the day, actions are the true language of the heart.